My name is Heidi Bronstein. I'm a chef and food stylist from Montreal. I love to barbecue. I barbecue all year round. There probably isn't a week that I don't spend at least 2 nights out on the barbecue. I'm gonna start with my take on an Asian Buddha bowl with grilled vegetables. Okay, so let's get started. The easiest marinade you've ever done, I'm telling you. Olive oil, about 3 tablespoons, and then equal amounts of hoisin. Everybody has hoisin in the house if you like Asian cooking. I'm just gonna mix those two, and this is gonna be our marinade for all the vegetables. I'm gonna start with the eggplant. We're gonna do 1/2-inch slices. So I like to cut on the bias when I do these because it gives me more flesh to grill. And we're gonna cut our mushrooms. And we're gonna set aside. What we're gonna do with the asparagus and the green onions is just cut them in half. You wanna just make sure that you have like a nice substantial part on the top half so that they don't fall apart on the grill. So just cut them below so you have a thick part here. We're gonna set those aside. Then the asparagus, I just wanna remove the sort of rough part at the end because we don't wanna chew into that. And we're just gonna cut them in half just like that. And those are ready to... Here we have some broccoli. Now you're probably wondering, broccoli? You're putting broccoli on the barbecue, but I'm telling you, it's amazing. Your kids are gonna love it. They're gonna ask you for more. Get them to eat their broccoli, throw it on the barbecue. It's a great idea. So we wanna have pieces that are gonna have a nice surface so that they can grill and cook evenly. So about even thickness all around, very important. So now to marinate the vegetables, what we want to do is we want to just drizzle some of this dressing on all of them. And then we're gonna mix them in the bowl. But I'm doing it this way because I don't want all the dressing to go on any particular vegetables. What happens is with the eggplants, if I throw them in the bowl right now, they're gonna absorb all the marinade, and this marinade should be good for all the vegetables. Get that nicely marinated. And let's get these on the grill. So while we're waiting for those to cook, let's put together the simplest vinaigrette you can imagine, all right? So we're gonna take a jar. We've got soy sauce. Sesame oil. Then we have tahini. Get that all in there. Then here I have some sriracha, which is a hot sauce. We can go with the sambal olek. You can choose whichever one. You can put a whole teaspoon. You can put a little more, a little less, depending on your taste, right? So I'm gonna put almost a teaspoon in there. It's gonna be hot. And then a little bit of water, and you'll see that's all it takes. We close the lid, shake it up. So now these vegetables are ready. We want to get them off before they burn. Look at all those lovely grill marks. Now that we have the first 2 vegetables done, let's get the others on the grill. So now we're done with the broccoli and asparagus and green onions, and we want to just get them on the plate. So I'm going to make my bowl. I'm going to use quinoa. You could use rice, you could use basically anything you want. Then I'm going to take a selection of vegetables. Lovely asparagus, green onions. Now we have a bowl. So to finish it off, super simple. If you want to add a little bit of freshness, what I like to do is just add some julienne carrots or cucumbers or both. I find that it gives us a nice vibrancy to the dish. Maybe a little coriander. Everybody loves coriander, or you love it or you hate it. I personally love it. A little bit of sesame seeds, and then the dressing. All we need to do is just drizzle a little bit of this on. There you have it, my version of an Asian Buddha bowl grilled on the barbecue. Delicious. So next up, I'm gonna make you my grilled Caesar salad. So I'm gonna start by making a paste with my anchovies and my roasted garlic. I like to use roasted garlic because it cuts a little bit of the bite of the garlic. So the roasted garlic, we have some grated Parmesan here. We're gonna put half of it in there. And we're just gonna grind it up. If you don't have a mortar and pestle, you can do this in a small blender. We've got our non-fat yogurt, a little bit of mayonnaise just for texture, the lemon juice, a little bit of Dijon mustard. Now we want to take this paste and we're going to add it to our vinaigrette. A little salt, a little pepper. It's perfect. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make our croutons on the barbecue at the same time that we grill our salad. So just gonna cut up a couple of nice slices here. Then we just wanna drizzle a little bit of olive oil on that. So what we're looking for is some nice grill marks and some toasted color on the bread. Then for the romaine, super simple. So very important is we keep the stem. We could cut off the little tiny bit of it, but we really need to keep that stem to hold it together, otherwise it's just gonna fall apart on the grill. We just wanted it to be marked nicely and slightly wilted. I'm gonna cut the bread into chunks. This is gonna serve as our croutons. I'm gonna take a few pieces of bacon, just gonna chop them up into chunks. You're obviously gonna cook them in advance. Voila. So now I'm gonna use a technique that I learned while working in restaurants. Rather than throw the dressing on the lettuce and then risk having big clumps getting stuck to certain parts and then ending up with a big mouthful, what we would do is we would spread it along the side of the bowl. And then with a rolling motion, you want to come and coat it all. I like to serve this family style. It is a barbecue. We're going to put it down the middle. Croutons. Sprinkle the rest of that Parmesan and bacon. Yes, we can't forget the bacon. And there you have it, grilled Caesar salad, barbecue style. Next up, grilled lake trout. So to start, I'm telling you this recipe is the easiest thing you'll ever make. We're gonna take one piece of butter right here. We're gonna rub the butter on the paper, just so the fish doesn't stick. We're gonna use all the surface that we think might touch the fish. And we're gonna put the fish down on it. We can just rub the rest of that on there. Now we're gonna start by seasoning the fish. We're gonna take some seasoned salt, which is my family's secret salt. So nicely seasoned inside and out. We have our butter there. Then we have some green onions, coriander, some sliced garlic, just a few slices in there, and I would say the equivalent, about 1 tablespoon of butter on the inside and outside. A couple of slices of lemon on top. Now, very important is to have a little knob of butter on the outside because you want it to develop some nice juices to make it all crispy and beautiful. So simple. We're gonna do a little bundle. Fold it over. Once more. Fold in at the head. Fold in at the tail. One more over. And we're good to go. Then we're just gonna finish the second one and get ready for the grill. Now our 2 bundles are ready for the grill. You just have to make sure that your grill is medium high and we're ready to cook. Close the lid. About 6 to 8 minutes per side. These ones are about a pound, a little bit less than a pound, so we're gonna maybe check it just before to be sure. And then we flip them another 6 to 8 minutes. And it's ready. That's all we have to do. Just have to listen to that crackle. If you're really not sure, I'm gonna show you a trick. Come. It's not like a meat that you're poking and you're gonna ruin if you look at it. This is fish, so if you take a look at it, and the skin comes off easy like this, and the fish flakes It's ready. And there we have it. Grilled lake trout, Bronstein style. And now to finish off with a little sweetness. I'm gonna make my grilled peaches on the barbecue, followed by my homemade plant-based popsicles. So super, super simple. We're gonna just cut off 2 halves. Just like so. The rest we're gonna keep, and we're gonna use the other, all the flesh around it for our popsicles. Now it's important to have somewhat firm peaches. As they get more and more ripe, they'll be sweeter, which means that there'll be more sugars on the surface, which means that they'll burn quicker. So, simple. Just gonna take some olive oil, drizzle, a little bit of salt. You're probably wondering why salt. Salt and pepper. We're gonna have a little sweet and savory side to this. We're gonna put these on brochettes, which I've soaked in water for at least 4 hours so that they don't burn on the grill. We wanna make sure that we have a surface that is flat. We're gonna put the cut side down first. Look at that. So now we're gonna turn the peaches. Very important to just keep a good close eye. Look at that nice grill mark there. We're gonna remove them. Now we're gonna add some basil leaves. These guys are ready. So the popsicles that we prepared earlier, super, super simple recipe. Now, what I like about this plant-based mixture is it has way more protein than most snacks that you would give to your kids. So while you're giving them one of these popsicles as a dessert, it's really a snack with protein. It's gonna give them energy, and there's a lot less sugar than your average dessert. So the craziness is not gonna happen. Trust me, you're gonna love this. So you can use whatever plant-based non-dairy product that you choose. I chose for this one a vanilla flavored one. In it, I've added the peaches. I've added some maple syrup, very little, and that's it. Blend it all up. You see the nice little speckles from the peel of the peaches, and it's ready to go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour this into our popsicle mold. And I like to add raspberries to it. They're amazing. The flavor, it works so well. So what you do is you just kind of break them up into little pieces. You put a couple of them in the bottom before you start to pour. Then we're just gonna carefully pour. Now, if you have a popsicle mold like this, which most people probably do not, it has a metal shield that covers it that gives you a slot to put the sticks in. But since we don't have that at home, I'll give you a good trick. You put these in the freezer for 1 hour, let it set mostly, and then you're just gonna come in, you're gonna put your popsicle sticks, they're gonna stand up straight, and then you finish for the next 3 hours until they're ready to eat. So then we do the chocolate. We take our plant-based product, chocolate flavored, we add a banana, we blend it, and we're good to go. You don't even need to add any maple syrup or any other sweetener into this. The chocolate is sweet enough. So there you have it. My plant-based popsicles. Peachy vanilla with raspberries and choco banana. Your kids are going to love them. And I'm gonna eat one right now. That's all I have today for you folks. I'm glad that you came along with us, and thank you for listening in to our summer barbecue webinar for TELUS Health, and I'll see you soon. Have a great summer.